Welcome to Monday's Market Outlook here at Top Gun Options. Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz, and apologies for no Friday market wrap up on Friday or a sit rep on Thursday. Have had an incredible, I guess you'd say, past four days or so. Was over in Texas, in Houston, on board the USS Texas, working with one of our TGO members and his risk department. And then Friday afternoon, hopped in an L-39 fighter jet, and then spent the weekend flying with about 8 to 10 other L-39s up in Cross City, Florida, doing some formation flying, becoming friends with a Russian, which I guess in today's political environment is a bad thing. No way. Oleg Prudius was just in Jack Reacher 2 as one of the bad guys. Great American, lives down in Miami. We're going to get together and break some things, along with a huge hedge fund manager, Alexei Mosayev. If you want to check out the weekend, I put here's a barrel roll attack I did on one of the planes. Didn't know it happened, of course, or they didn't know it happened. And then have an album on here with about 10 or so pictures of how the weekend was. But Friday, literally, I'm in the backseat of this L-39 connected to the internet, watching that S&P 500 trades and watching it bounce around 2380. We're going to cover all of that stuff today at 1 o'clock for my weekly options members. Normal weekly options brief at 1 o'clock today. So we'll debrief the 2380, 2385 bear call spread, and also the repair trade that I talked about in the Accelerated Retirement webinar, which if you're in that, some of you threw that one on. I saw some good communications over the weekend about, hey, I made money in both trades, so that puts a huge smile on my face. So if you want to check out the pictures, make sure you go to facebook.com/TopGunOptions. Make sure you press like while you're there. Do me a favor and press like. That helps us out. And if you could, like some of the pictures as well, because that puts some traffic around the internet as well, so we can get some new members to join. Some of you esteemed folks already. This thing was, flying formation, bending around fighter jets, and doing all that stuff put a huge smile on my face, man. It was great to hang out with just good people again. Great Americans. F-16 guy, another Navy guy. A bunch of rich folks obviously own the L-39s because, a lot of military guys ain't affording an L-39. But that was really the sport of kings. And then this dinner that night, folks, holy crap, that's not... Thought it was a diner. This is a prime rib. I mean, that thing was a tomahawk. It went out about a foot, and that was about 3 inches thick. So that was... that's why I'm wearing my PT gear, my physical training gear, because I'm getting ready to go hit the gym for the next 15 hours. So, all right, enough of all that stuff. But if you want to check out how the weekend was and why I was a little quiet on Friday, even though I was watching the market, that'll show you why. Futures, or the Dow's down about 80 right now. S&P's off, maybe 10, 11, walling around here. This is crazy. Speaking about meeting some Russians, it's getting out of control in Washington. I've told you folks, earnings, unemployment, the Fed, nothing economically is going to bring this thing down. The crap going on in Washington absolutely will. The president allegedly, with no evidence, blasting out one of his early morning tweets about Obama wiretapping him during the election. That is one of the most incendiary accusations I've heard in my lifetime. I could barely remember Watergate. Yeah, I am that old. Loser 50-something. And I'm not I'm not even 50. But anyway, that's what's going to bring this down, folks. We got North Korea, who lit off 4 ballistic missiles into the Japanese economic exclusion zone, whatever the hell they call it. That's bad. Days after it promised retaliation over U.S.-South Korea military drills. So we had some military drills like we do annually. North Korea always thinks that we're coming, and this is no kidding, the war. And they lit off 4 ballistic missiles, folks. So not only do we have Democrats and Republicans accusing each other of being in bed with the Russians, now we have the president accusing the former president of bugging his phones. This is getting out of control. This is absolutely getting out of control. And when I get nervous, guys, you should be nervous as hell. When the Drudge Report is just, Dems smell blood in the water. The FBI director turns on Trump. CNN spy cam on Oval Office. This is just, you can't make this stuff up, folks. So, and one of the previous attorney generals said, hey, there was surveillance. Okay, there was an initial FISA request that was denied, a second one that was approved that included Trump Towers, folks. How do you think they got General Flynn? I absolutely believe that the former president, and of course his denials along with Valerie Jarrett are enough to say we didn't do it because we never, us didn't, but they didn't know others were. Come on, folks. They were going to do anything to get Clinton elected, and it it still didn't work. This is getting awful. I'm warning you folks that these geopolitical risks are going to bring the market down. Not us. We got good stuff going on. Deutsche Bank is also dragging stocks lower. They woke up apparently over the weekend or whenever it was and said, hey, I think we need more capital. We're undercapitalized. Yikes. When you got a bank like Deutsche Bank saying we need more money, that's going to send a shockwave across global markets and especially into some of our financial positions. But, risk is starting to wane here, folks. If I was a massive, and again, I talked to a couple guys over the weekend throwing around some big money, and it was pretty interesting how these guys were very interested in what I had to say, especially based on our performance at TGO. I said, guys, if you gave me $1 billion right now, I could not. Give me $1 million, I would not put it at risk in this market. But trading vol arb and equity options, I absolutely would. And I think we're going to have lunch here this week down in Miami to talk about a potential strategy or a partnership because I had some interesting insight as to how we're going to trade this market. Members, you're going to find out at 1 o'clock. So risk appetite is starting to wane. Deutsche Bank pulling down financial and then geopolitics. You know what's also starting to pull us down? Here it comes again, folks. I told you with our acronym to fear 2017, the O into TO is oil. It's been hidden for a while and all the crap going on in Washington, and now it's peeking its head up. We saw weaker numbers out of China. That's never a good thing. The world's largest consumer of oil is having a weaker economy, and guess what? Russia ain't cutting production. So lower demand in China, higher production out of Russia. Somebody do the math. Come on, freshman 101, economics 101. Man, price is going to start going down. So if we got volatility in Washington, we have volatility in oil. Strap in, man. And then the biggest event for the week is non-farm payroll on Friday. The March 15th week away Fed meeting is going to be a big one. That's a pretty big one on the radar that we need to be concerned about. The Fed fund futures rate was getting up into the 30s, which is I got to double check that. That might be old. It's getting higher. I know some of you sit there and go, 30, man, that's a 70% chance they won't. That's actually pretty high, folks. When you break at 50%, that means it's most likely going to happen. So don't think of it as an options trader probability. Think about it as a Fed watcher. Samsung, we'll talk about this tomorrow in our primary live trade brief at 10 a.m. And how it's going to impact Apple. I think this is it's good news for Apple that the Samsung scandal in South Korea. There was a lot of stuff going on between Samsung and the president over there. I'll leave it at that. Could be bullish for Apple. This 23. Let's take a look at the chart real quick. This 2360, folks, is a important Maginot Line, right? Let's use our World War II history. We don't hold 2360 and we start going down with some airspeed. We're going to pound the hell out of this thing with some bearish double verticals, either on VXX or bullish double verticals on VXX. Let's take a look at our volatility altimeter for the day. The VIX is up 5%, man, up 60 cents. There was a 10 print last week, folks. A 10 print. I've told you, if you see a 10 or an 11 or even 12 in front of this decimal point, you got to get long vol, man. We're up to nearly 13 at one point last week, and now we went below an 11. Look at this. It's a heart rate monitor, folks. So we're going to be talking about all this stuff. It looks like SPX is actually picking up some speed as maybe I should stop talking to the downside as we've been talking here, man. And then obviously I'm watching the news right now because Trump's getting ready for that another immigration broadside. So that could be volatile in the market as well. As I said, if you want to see how the weekend was, go to facebook.com/TopGunOptions. And for potential new members, we're going to be doing a webinar, a trade brief after the close on Thursday for any potential new members that want to see how I'm trading this Trump rally. Is it going to fade or is it going to keep going? I'm telling you, folks, my strategic mindset of cautiously bullish, you can capitalize the words cautiously and underline it and put bullish in little letters after it, maybe italics, okay? I got to run. We're going to have a great day today at TGO and an incredible week. Going to be glued to the TV, glued to my computer, glued to my cell phone, talking to folks. And also, like I said, made some great new contacts over the weekend in the financial sector, especially since they're from Russia. I got some intel, got some really good intel that I'll share with our members. Okay, so have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll see a lot of my weekly options members at 1 o'clock in the live trade briefing room. We'll see you.